Break with Reality, Part 15. The cook's ruddy, sweat-beaded face remained absolutely passive as he regarded Dougal, Laurie and Keir at the end of the passageway. "So, mon ami," he whispered, lifting the meat cleaver he held to his right hand to chest height. He ran his left index finger along the razor-sharp edge. "Ah," he murmured, adding an almost sexual element to the action, deliberately drawing blood and showing it to them. He placed a finger on his fat tongue, sucking the digit clean. "I, Lucius Pascal, ship's cook, have you now?" he said, leering at Laurie. He added, "Especially you, you dirty bitch. I would take exceptional pleasure in tasting your whore flesh." He opened his arms and spread his feet apart, preparing to make his move. Laurie, Keir and Dougal all shuddered and looked at each other, Dougal raising his eyebrows, with a slight nod in the direction of the survivors' mess room, the open door to which lay to their right. Keir and Laurie both almost imperceptibly nodded in agreement. With a roar, the evil cook raised both hands in the air and lunged towards them, eyes bursting out of a puce face. The three Fens dived into the room, splitting apart from each other as they entered. The French madman reached the door and stopped momentarily, deciding which of them should be his first victim. He performed an eeny, meeny, miny, mo action then, pointing at each of them with a fat, blood-stained finger before finally arriving at Laurie, trying desperately but failing to blend in with the furniture at the side of the room. The bulbous head tilted to one side and he resumed his charge, bursting forward, screaming something in French in the top of his lungs. Laurie froze at the terrifying sight of the hatchet-wielding lunatic rushing towards her, but regained her mettle just in time to grab the nearest chair, then held it up, attempting to ward off the mad French tiger looming towards her. Movement caught the side of her eye, however, and she was surprised to see the cook lurch sideways as a chair Keir had thrown hit him on the shoulder. Regaining his balance, Pascal turned his attention to see who had thrown the missile, but decided Dougal looked a better option for his first kill, ignoring Laurie for the moment and approaching his victim with the raised meat cleaver. Dougal, realising he was now the target, raised his hands in front of himself and slowly edged backwards. "Look, come on then," Dougal stammered, trying to reason with the raging food preparation expert. I'm sure we can..." Another roar silenced Dougal, who unfortunately hadn't thought about the low table he was backing into. Tripping unceremoniously, he ended up flat on his back, with the sweating Pascal looming over him. The chef brought the raised cleaver down, anticipating the sweet feeling of metal gouging into flesh, but was foiled ultimately as Dougal grabbed the half case of lager lying at his side of the table, pulling it in front of himself to use as a makeshift shield. The sharp instrument hit the cans, which burst with tepid, frothy lager exploding into the atmosphere, spraying mainly the cook with the sticky alcoholic beverage. "Ah!" screamed Pascal, slapping his hands to his face as if battery acid had been sprayed into his eyes. "You blind me!" The weapon was still embedded in the polythene-covered half-case of lager, held aloft above and dripping into Dougal's face. "Fuck me," said Keir, strolling in from the side, making a face at the cook's reaction. "Getting 10 inches isn't that great, but it's only lager for fuck's sake." He lifted a leg and firmly booted Pascal in the ribs, causing him to fall across the chairs at his side. "He's down. Come on, let's go." Dougal threw the remaining lager on the floor and got off the table, wiping his eyes and licking his lips, then followed Keir and Laurie as they rushed outside. Keir pulled the door behind him, slamming it shut. "Quick," he said, keeping a firm grip of the handle. "We need something to barricade this door with." Laurie and Dougal looked frantically around them in the passageway. They tried a few doors, finding only cabins, until Laurie hit the jackpot with a cupboard containing cleaning mops, buckets and the like. She grabbed a brush from it and threw it to Keir, who caught it with one hand before wedging it behind the door handle at an angle to the door frame, making it impossible to open, for now. "That won't hold very long," said Keir. "Come on, let's get upstairs. It's time we found a phone or something to get help." At that, the door lever started rattling with the cook trying to get out, his muffled shouts coming from within. Laurie and Dougal needed no more persuasion. The three of them turned and raced up the stairway. They ran straight up past the freezer with its grisly contents and headed up the next stairs onto the passageway with the bloody floor. "Hold on," said Dougal, stopping their flight with his arms wide. really think we should check in here." He was pointing to the cabin door that the smear blood trail led to. "You think?" said Laurie. Keir looked solemn. "Aye, we do." Short but sweet today.